Hey y'all, welcome back to Let's Talk About It with Courtney Carroll. I am your host. I am so excited to be here. I'm also your licensed therapist in Washington State and North Carolina, your connection coach, and of course, the host of this podcast. I just want to start out and say Happy Mother's Day. I specifically waited until today to record because, one, I'm a single mom, and I think that connects to a lot of my audiences, and I have a lot of amazing women in my life that are moms and aunts, and I just think what a beautiful day to celebrate that, right? So thank you for joining and listening. As always, if you ever have questions, comments, go ahead and leave that into the comment section or DM me, message me. But yeah, so I kind of thought about this for just a few minutes. I'm such a planner. What does Mother's Day mean? What does it mean to me? And maybe even ask yourself, what does it mean to you? And it's okay if you're not a mom. Maybe you're trying to have a baby. I have a few people in my life that are in the middle of trying to conceive and want to either have kids or expand their family. I have a lot of friends adjusting to being a single mom and clients that are kind of used to maybe being a single mom. And I have like those moms on so many spectrums, like especially my clients. Like I have some with really great co-parents. I have ones that are really hands-on with both parents, like I just said. And then I have people attempting this like ridiculous like parallel parenting thing that as a counselor, a therapist, is wild to me because I don't believe it exists. I think when we say parallel parenting, it's more of like you do you and I do me, and that's not parenting. That's just living your own lives. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Probably another episode, right? But like what I would like to step into is like, what does this mean? And I'm blessed. And maybe that's not what you want to hear right now. Like, oh, you're blessed. Yes, I'm so blessed. I woke up this morning, I was letting my dogs out, and I literally got startled from my beautiful daughter, Hazel. She's 5, and she scared the shit out of me, if I'm being honest. And she goes, Happy Mother's Day. And it's truly her first time, she's 5, to like remember that it's Mother's Day. Like she's known like, hey, it's Mother's Day before, but like not when she first wakes up. And gosh, she's so freaking cute. She made me a gift in school, and my mom was very gracious and took her shopping for me. And so she had a few gifts for me, and it was just so cute. And watching her say, do you love it? And oh my gosh, I've never had a gift from the classroom where they had like the kid fill out what they know about you. And my daughter literally, I think, missed like 1 or 2. My age, she said, I'm 30 and I'm going to take it. I am almost 37, and I think that might be the only one. I can't think of it. If I think of it, I'll let you guys know. But anyway, it was so special. Like she picked up my favorite colors. She knew my favorite food. The fact that my daughter knows my favorite food is teriyaki is wild to me, considering she never eats it. So like I was like, oh my gosh, she's so sweet. But it also tells me she's paying attention. She absorbs, and gosh, she's such like, her memory is incredible. Like it's astounding, honestly. And she recalls more than she's ever recalled. And she remembers how people make her feel and being able to put words and actions, all of that together. And it's so cool. And then we just got back from brunch with my family, and it was amazing. I got to see most of my brothers and sisters, just missing my brother and his wife. My nieces were there, and my stepmom was there, and my grandmother, and it was just really nice. And I just think about, what does this day mean to me? The first word that pops in my head is pride and being proud. And I hope you feel the same way. If you're a mom, I hope you're proud of yourself. It's a hard thing to say about yourself. It really is. It's like, I don't know what it is, maybe how we were raised. I'm really unsure, to be honest. Is we rarely tell ourselves we're doing a good job. And I'm sure you are. If you are listening and have found my content, I'm sure you are a good mama. I'm sure you try your best. And there are days where I literally have no idea how I'm going to figure out everything. And I question, am I doing the right and wrong things? And then having a beautiful girl this morning wake up excited about a gift for me, knowing so much about me, giving me hugs, love, and affection. And I don't know why it makes me emotional, but it reminds me I'm doing a good job. I have received beautiful messages from my friends, even like in-laws, my ex-in-laws and my parents, and just really reminding me that I'm a really hands-on good mom. And then I go into like, what a legacy, you know? I recently, just a minute or two ago, brought up my mom/stepmom. And I talk about this often, but until my stepmom came into my life and I was 10 years old, almost 11, I didn't really have a mom. I had a mom that had addiction issues, secrets, lies, and a whole other thing. She's battling demons I never would have understood really, let alone get. She struggled a lot. And I think when a parent struggles like that, there's really like two options. It's repeat it or repair it. And even I've had my brother struggle with addiction, and it's easy to use substances, easier than like, you know, going to therapy and doing the work. I don't know why this is making me so emotional, but I'm going to just go with it. And this is me. And again, if you have never listened to my podcast, there's no teleprompter. I'm just talking to you like I would be in a session with a client. And Mother's Day is hard sometimes, especially if you grow up without a mom or an addict mom. You can have a step parent that comes in and does the best they could, and my stepmom did. She also had her own kids, and we had a blended family, and things were hard. I learned a lot what not to do as a mom. I really did. And I remember thinking, like, what kind of mom are you going to be? Being pregnant, we had such a beautiful surprise with our daughter Hazel, and wasn't planned, but beautifully. Like, it's wonderful how the universe works out with a gift like that. And I remember thinking I really wanted a boy. Or I think I just assumed I would have a boy. Mostly because my ex-husband was mostly all boys in his family. And my sisters already had 3 girls in the mix. And I just assumed I would be like the odd one out. And oh my Lord, the day I found out about her, I was like kind of stunned and shocked. And then I get to know her throughout the pregnancy and, you know, meet her the day she's born. And it's like God and the universe knew exactly what they were doing. My daughter is my twin. And what I don't think most people know about me is I'm identical to my biological mom, besides she was taller and I wasn't. And like freckles, everything. And then Hazel also has my curly hair I get from my dad. So she's literally my twin. Blue eyes, beautiful. They change colors like mine. And I've never healed more than I have as a mom. Because what I didn't get as a kid, I pour everything into her now. Not in a point where it's unhealthy, but to a point where I am honored that I get to love her. And I get to show up for her in a way that my mom, my biological mom, couldn't. I make choices around her. I plan my whole life around that girl. Between pickup, drop off, babysitters, and life and work. There's sacrifices. I'm sure you know that as a mom. Even as a dad too. They're big ones. I don't even know if it's a luxury, but I'm going to use that word, the luxury to just like do whatever the fuck I want. I have my daughter at least 85 to 90% of the year. And I think when you were younger, you would think like that's amiss, or like, dang, I wish I could do this. Like, in an ideal world, I think most people think they can plan and schedule their whole lives around themselves. And the fact is, if you're a parent, at least in my opinion, a good one, you plan your life around them. Once you bring them into this world, like, it's no longer just your world. And I'm so honored that I raised Hazel the way I do. I'm hands-on. I am in it. And then today was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I know that's not everyone today. I know I am fortunate that I have a good family and support system. I have friends that brought me flowers, sent me flowers, and again, wrote me messages. And maybe that's not you. But I'm saying to you, I'm proud of you. You're crushing it. You're doing the best you can. And yes, you sacrifice, and maybe you're exhausted. I know I'm so tired. I've not been sleeping good. And maybe that every little bit of extra energy that you wish you had, you give it to your kid. And I just want to honor that. I think that's amazing. And there is challenge in that, because there's also like, how are you going to fill your tank? Mother's Day also represents to me, like, how do I sustain this and how do I get better? And the first step for me is recognizing is if I'm tired, or if I'm not getting quality sleep, or I'm not working out or taking care of myself, like, something's got to give. And very rarely it's my daughter. But if that means we don't go to the park that day so I can go on a walk, that's what we have to do. Sometimes it's not doing like fun extracurricular vacations. I actively go to therapy, and it's expensive, and I can't go on that Disneyland cruise trip wherever right now at this point in my journey. But the thing is, kids don't need that stuff. They don't need stuff. They need you. They need you to show up the best you can. So yeah, instead of vacations, I pay for therapy. Instead of sometimes we skip the park so that we can sustain energy and have good quality dinner and bath time and everything, and reading the books. I think we often, especially, I'm a millennial, I'll be 37 this summer, and I think we often think of like what we're not giving them. And honestly, I don't know where that's from. I don't recall my parents feeling, or at least verbalizing that much. Is like, what are we not giving our kids versus like, this is what we have to give to our kids. And I think that was like part of my deconstruction of how I do things. You know, I like, of course I want to be the fine mom. Of course I want to be the parent, not just to spoil them, but to give them everything they can. And I've learned as a single mom, that's not always the case. I can't always do it all, you know, and that's okay. Fortunately, my daughter has a really cool family and is still able to experience a lot of things with or without me. But I don't want you to beat yourself up today if you don't have more to give your kids, when you are literally sustaining and keeping them going all the time. I'm so fucking proud of you, and I challenge you to look at yourself today and say, I'm proud of myself, you know? And maybe some of you didn't get a text message from your co-parent or your in-laws, or gosh, maybe your kid's so little they don't even know it's Mother's Day, and you don't have a co-parent in your life that helps them remember it. And I see you. And that's where I challenge you, just look at what you have. I'm sure that little bug, I call Hazel, my daughter, a bug all the time, a sugar bug. I bet you they look at you with the biggest eyes. I bet you they know nothing different, and that's a big win. Leaving a marriage is really hard. I've done it. Ending a relationship, I was engaged after getting divorced, and ending that was hard. But looking at my daughter's eyes and knowing I made the best decision I could, I'm fucking proud of that. It's okay to like have a few things be true at some time. It's okay to like not be happy with where you're at, and knowing that you're doing a good job with everything you can do. I think that's incredible if you can get into that perspective for yourself. Because we are our worst criticism is coming from ourselves, right? Like, I'm sure just like you, or I'm sure just like me, I think that's a better way of saying it. And I don't want to assume, but I just think we are all really hard on ourselves. I know I am. No one has to really punish me or tell me if something's off or something. Chances are I've got it wrapped up. I'm aware, if not very aware, hyper aware. And sometimes I feel guilty. And I'm sure you do too. But think about what you do have. And I'm not talking about just a reframe, a cognitive reframe in your brain. Like, that's therapy talk, right? Where to look at it. But challenge yourself to think of, what do I have? Are your kids healthy? Do you have food on the table? Do you have childcare? That shit's expensive. I know, I pay for it. And do your kids want for anything? And I'm not talking about the new toy or the Barbie or maybe the extra streaming services or whatever else. I'm not talking about that, because I'm sure they want a lot of things. But do they need anything? Probably not. I'm sure you got it covered. Is there food in the table? Lights are on, heat's on, or if it's really hot, air conditioning on. We don't have much of that in Washington, but I know it's like in North Carolina. You're doing it. And if your little loves woke up, wished you happy Mother's Day, or made those activities or those cups, or Hazel made me a really cute mug that she drew and they glazed over. If they did that, they love you. They love you all the time. And if they can't honor you, or they're too little, I hope you choose to honor yourself. I hope you love yourself today. And maybe you don't feel like a good parent. Okay. Let's work on that. Let's get to work. If you don't have a therapist or a coach, you hit me up. And if I'm not a good fit, I will find you one. I assure you. My profiles are waymarkcounseling.com or courtneycarroll.com, or you can find me on social media. I will figure it out together. If you can't look in that mirror and tell yourself you're doing a good job, let's get to work. Let's do it. I mean, I don't want you living that way. I hope you don't want to live that way, because chances are you are doing a pretty good job. And if there's room to work at it, let's do it. Do that for yourself, because it's doing that for your kids. Whenever I think of like the generations to come behind me, I personally, having a daughter, I'm leaving a marriage where there was infidelity and a lot of lying and cheating. I'm so proud that I taught my daughter we don't stay in those marriages, because for so long, so many did. My dad was married to my biological mom for, I think, 15 years before he finally left. And I'm so proud I can teach Hazel and you to leave unhealthy things. If it's not fueling you up, and you're not even just not your best version, but if you're not in a healthy relationship and you have kids watching, this is your push to either couples work. And I promise you I'm going to be doing a couples work episode soon, so I hope you tune in with your spouse or partner. But the thing is, there's the ripple effect. I think like a pebble, thank you, in the pond, and you drop it, it goes like this. I'm so honored and proud that I get to be part of generations to come in my daughter's family and her kids and their grandkids, that you don't stay in unhealthy marriages. That is changing, y'all. And yes, this holiday might be hard because maybe you wish your ex would co-parent with you better. Or maybe they would remember you and give you a text message, or maybe they would help your kid get a card or flowers or something for you like they used to do when you were married. And you can feel all the things. That is part of the work, is honoring and visiting those and knowing like it's okay to be sad about those things. I've been there. I'll sit with you with that. But then the next step is, what do you want this day to remind? Like, what does it represent to you? What do you want it to represent you? Today represents a lot of love for me. it's my daughter doing what she did today tells me I'm doing a fucking good job. And not because of gifts or anything, but because she woke up. She was excited. Happy Mother's Day, Mama. I love you. Look what I made for you. And then having so much of those, like that chart thing where she answers questions at me right. She listens and absorbs everything. And gosh, it felt good today. I don't always feel great. And again, I'm with you. I'm human. I don't always feel like I have it together, or I'm doing the best job that I can, or it's like like the devil and angel talking. Like the devil's always telling you like you should be doing more. If only things was better. And then the angel's like, hey girl, you're doing the best you can, and you are. And let's say you are in a really good spot with your partner. Let's say you are happy and you were celebrated and loved today. Sit with that. I'm sure it's not always been that way. And again, find gratitude is like that you're in a good spot. We often forget how hard and how long it took to get to that good spot. And again, honor that. What do you want Mother's Day to mean to you? To me, I'm going to wrap this up. A pretty short episode because it's Mother's Day and I'm going to go hang out with my kid. She's watching some TV downstairs. I want it to be a reminder that I'm doing a good job. Or, not even or. And if there's anything like to look at the big picture, where are we really at? My daughter's healthy, happy, hilarious, and loving. That's all I need. She's happy, and that makes me happy. So I'm going to continue to go forward Mother's Day and have it be a reminder, a gut check that I'm on the right path, that it feels like everything's aligning as it should be. And if you are not there, again, you reach out to me. And if I'm not the person for you, I'll help you find this. I know today can be bittersweet, especially for those single mamas, or maybe recently divorced or separated, or recent big breakups. And maybe some of your babies aren't with you because it's Mother's Day and it's their dad's weekend or their partner, your ex's weekend, and that's shitty too. But remind yourself you're doing a great job. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this touched you in a way that is for your best and highest, and that one, at least you feel seen, if anything. And there are steps of healing and grieving your families and the changes, and also looking in the mirror and saying, hey, I'm doing the best I can with what I have. And are my kids happy? Are they healthy? Yes, they can't have the sky and the moon, maybe the Disneyland trips and all of that, but are they happy and they're healthy? That's such a big one to end your Mother's Day with. I thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of my community. Thank you for this support. Happy Mother's Day.